Hi guys. So now you know how to create variables. We saw that in previous episodes from this JavaScript for Beginners series, and you've learned about feature reserved words in JavaScript, as well as reserved words, current keywords or tokens that you are not allowed to use when you are declaring variables, or any type of any sort of identifier. Can be a function name or anything. So now today there is one more thing that you need to understand, and that is the do's and don'ts when it comes to naming your variables. There are things that you cannot do when you name a variable. You cannot have spaces. You cannot start your variable names with numbers, and you cannot start your variable names with special characters, these sort of things. In case it sounds confusing to you, I'm going to make quick examples. I don't want to stretch this video too much, so we're going to jump right into this. And here I have these comments. Do not do this. Again, keep in mind, whenever you want to have a single line comments in JavaScript, you can simply add these double forward slashes. Anyway, do not do this. What you cannot do, and I'm using the keyword let to declare all the variables in this tutorial. So you cannot have this, for instance, my variable. And why is that? Now look at this here, this window. This is my console log. I'm running my live server right now. So whatever I type here, if there is any error, it's gonna be outputs right here. So it says syntax error, uncut, unexpected identifier, which is script line 2 and this one here. Now in VS Code, Visual Studio Code, I have this error, this red line, which says it is expecting something like a comma or something. So in this case, mine would be a suitable variable name, but the moment I add a space, it does not recognize these two words as one variable. So I will need to concatenate them like this. Let's my variable equals my variable. Now let's say I comment this out here. Now inside my console log, I have no error. If I look for my variable, it is indeed my variable here. I could also do it that way. Let's my variable equals my variable. Again, let's check my variable, and it's also this one with a capital V here. So you can add, make sure you always use single words for your variables. Now another thing that you cannot do, I'm going to re-enable this for now. You also cannot start your variable names with numbers. So for instance, 00 my variable. Now you can see that I'm using my variable as one word, but I've started this variable name with digits. So let's see, equals 00 my variable. Let's use lowercase v, doesn't matter, but just cause. And let's comment this out here. We don't need it anymore. So, and now we have invalid or unexpected token. Script line 3, which is this one here. Let's hover to see what it says. Again, it is expecting a semicolon or something. Now let's say you really wanted to add digits to your variable names just to differentiate them when you are writing your program. You could simply do that by appending them at the end, and that is perfectly valid. So if I do my variable 00, I get the value of that variable. So actually, I should rather have this in this section right here, because this is the valid one, which you can do. Now I'm going to comment this out. Another thing that you could do is add again an underscore like this. Let's see what we get. My variable underscore 00, and we get this one here. Let me write right. So that we get my 00 underscore my variable. You could also have the digits anywhere in between the variable like this. Now the digits are in between, it still works. Let's see what we get. My 00 in between digit, it still works. Now something else that you cannot do is have special characters. So let's see what we get here, and it still fails. So let's see what it says. It is expecting something. So make sure you don't add any special characters at the beginning of your variable names. However, I'm going to leave that here. Something that you could do, however, is add let, for instance, and add underscore. So underscore is perfectly valid. Now let's check the console here, and I'm going to have this one, and it's able to recognize the value. Now you can also use dollar signs. So the error is gone. If I check here, it still works. Now many people recommend that you do not use dollar sign to begin your variable names because some JavaScript libraries, and we'll cover libraries in the future, but some libraries use dollar signs for some of their reserved words, some of their keywords. So just to be safe, try to avoid using them. All right, now in addition to these things that you can do and the don'ts that we've highlighted above, which also includes not using keywords, JavaScript keywords. One other thing that you need to note, important, let me have a new section here called important, is that JavaScript variables are case sensitive. So if I have this, for instance, actually I think I had a piece of code at the bottom. I'm just going to bring it up. Yep. So I had this. I'm just going to comment out everything that we have so far, and I'm going to uncomment all of this here because I want you to understand what is going on. Okay, now you can see in the console I have 1 2 3 4 5 6 here, and it's reading from the lines from 23 to 28, which is this one here, from line 23 here to line 28. So this is, I'm console logging the values of these variables here. Now from a glance, they all look the same. They are all called number, but you can see that these different values are being recognized because these are separate variables in JavaScript. And the reason why they are separate is because if you look closely, I'm using different cases. So here the last R is capital case, this one here uppercase, the E and the R, BER uppercase, and this one is the MBER, and this one here is UMBER. So these are different. Okay, so make sure when you name your variables, you don't give them the same names. In case you're confused and you don't really believe that it's the same thing, I'm going to make you one example here. I'm going to take this console.log, the first one number, and I'm going to console log it again, and it will print out this value 1 because it's the same. No matter how many times I paste this, it's going to print out 1 multiple times. So it's a different one. If I was to have a new one called number where everything is capitalized, it will look like this. Let's say 100 for this one. And now I'm going to console log it, console.log capital 1, and we now see 100. So this is very bad practice. All many variables having the same names, just typed differently. So make sure you stick to the do's that I've highlighted here. If you have any questions, drop them in the comment section. I might have omitted something in this video which I can always highlight in another tutorial, but for now these are the important things that you should take note of. So make sure you subscribe, like this video if you liked it, drop me your comments, share this video, and catch me for the next episode in this JavaScript for Beginners series.